Alright, hi everybody. So I want to talk to you today about applying a sheet to your flex plate system. This can also apply to applying your sheet to your print bread directly, but I'm actually going to show you applying it to the spring steel for the flex plate system. And the reason I'm doing this video is because recently I mentioned using an item called Rapid Tac, which I'm showing you right now. This is a adhesive application fluid, and it assists in applying the sheet. And I've always used it because, well, the very first sheet I applied was a 400mm by 400mm sheet for the FormBot, or 16 inches for those people that are in the US. So that's a 16-inch square sheet. And I was a little nervous about this large sheet, which is not inexpensive, to get stuck in a bad position. I'm kind of particular about the placement of my sheets. So I just wanted to make sure it went on right. And so I've been using the Rapid Tac ever since, and commented about using it, and somebody mentioned, why do you need to let it dry? And well, this is why, because the Rapid Tac goes on there, and the Rapid Tac kind of prolongs the time you have for the adhesive to actually stick, which then means that you can move it around a little bit to get it in the right spot and work out the air bubbles. So that's why I use the Rapid Tac, is to kind of give me a time on these larger sheets. So again, this is the Rapid Tac right here. And of course, we're also going to need a rubber spatula squeegee type thing. This one is actually for a large cell phone. It works great, but any kind of rubber-ish edge squeegee to get out the air bubbles and the liquid that you're going to put on with the Rapid Tac. So, all right, without further ado, let's go ahead and put on our sheet. Okay, so this is the sheet we're going to be applying. We're going to be applying Gecko Tech Hot. I haven't actually used the Gecko Tech Hot yet. I got it so that I could test it out. I do use the Gecko Tech Cold for my FormBot when I'm not using the heat bed. And then when I'm actually using the heat bed, I currently use the Build Tech. Or actually, better than the Build Tech is the Build Tech PEI sheet that they recently came out with, which I put on the FormBot, and that works phenomenally. So hot, I typically use the PEI sheet from the Build Tac people, and then cold, I'm running the Gecko Tech Cold, but I figured I'd give the Gecko Tech Hot a shot, see what it compares. So you'll see that I've got this kind of laid out. Got the bubble wrap from one of my other, see this bubble wrap that comes on here? This makes a nice platform to actually do your application on, because it's a little bit squishy, but it prevents things from sliding around. Then on top of that, I've got the cheap paper towel, as the instructions from here say. You use cheap paper towel with this material, or this application fluid. So I've got cheaper paper towel here because when I put this down, I'm going to be squeezing like this, and then we're going to get liquid everywhere. So instead of it spilling and then kind of possibly getting on the countertops, I've got the paper towel there to pick it up. So anyways, so this material I'm taking off here, you might want to keep around if you're going to be putting another spring steel sheet at some point, because it makes a great application platform. Alright, so here's my nice little sheet. Yes, I am very particular about this, so I'm going to put this on, oriented in the right direction, even though I'm not going to see it. Funny, right? Alright, so I forgot to grab a cheap paper towel to actually do my wiping off. Alright, so the instructions say to clean the surface with this first. So basically what you're doing is you're getting all the oils off with this material. You're kind of putting down a real thin coating as it is. Just getting everything off here. Don't want to get your fingers on it. Alright. Well, it looks like we're a little dirty over here still. Get some more on there. Okay, so now that's clean-ish. not actually the application of it. Let's get our sheet out of our wrapper here. Yeah, that's one thing about the Gecko Tac. The Gecko Tac comes perfectly sealed, so you gotta rip the thing open. Build Tac comes so that it's kind of sticky and it opens more easily. So Gecko Tac, if you're listening, can we get like some kind of baggy sealant that actually opens easily, so having to get all teary aggressive with it? I don't know, I suppose I could use fresh scissors too, but anyways, alright, so we're going to go ahead and we've got the out of the wrapper, we're ready to apply. Let's get this off there. Oh, and then I touched the metal. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to just go ahead and put this on. I just kind of want a nice, even coat everywhere. Okay. And then we go ahead and get our material off of our backing off here. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. Backing's coming off. Alright. Our backing is off. It's very sticky on the fingers. Alright. So what I like to do is I like to kind of bend it like this, kind of position the center. And this is kind of the whole purpose of the application fluid, is that you can actually move it around and get things positioned correctly. So I'm going to go down in the center here, make sure I'm lined up top to bottom. You can see I can actually just move this around just a little bit. Now I will caution you, don't move it too much, because you'll get the fluid out from underneath and then it'll actually start sticking really well. So let's see if I can get this positioned. Oh, okay, now, great. So you see what happened there? Now I've lost all of this ability to move because I did that. So don't do that. Don't do that. Alright, let's try this again. Alright. We're laying down, we're laying down. We look even across. We're going to go edge to edge. Okay, well, we're down now. Alright, now what we do is we just kind of, I don't know if you can see these little white bubbles. There's one over here, really big one. See the color change over here. So I generally work from the center outward. And don't press too hard, because the harder you press, the more stuck it gets. So I kind of do this in waves, being as I will do it from the center kind of lightly at first to get out most of the air bubbles, and then go back and push really hard the second time to actually try and get the adhesive to actually start sticking. So again, this fluid is kind of acting as a buffer to give you more time to position all of this. And we're just kind of getting all these air bubbles out, and you see that we're squeezing out fluid all over the place because we were very generous with our fluid. Okay, and then things get a little messy. Clean it up so that I can see that whether or not I'm getting more out or not. Got a bubble over here still. We're gonna chase that one across the corner. All right. Okay, so now I'm pushing a little harder. My sheet shouldn't be moving at this point. We're just trying to get all these bubbles out. It all looks one nice solid white underneath. Build tack, the actual build tack sheet, the black, a little harder to tell when you've got all the bubbles out real well, so you just kind of keep going until you're satisfied. The build tack PEI sheet, very easy to see the bubbles because it's translucent, so should be able to get that really good. Now, this is where we stray from the instructions just a little bit. The instructions on here, let's see where it says. It should say like dry overnight. Right. It doesn't actually say dry overnight, does it? I believe the instructions, Build Tax instructions on their website, that's where they're at. It says to let it dry overnight. For a sheet of this size, that's not long enough. I put the PEI sheet from Build Tac on and was very eager to try and use it. And at 24 hours, I went and used it. And as soon as I heated that thing up, it bubbled all up underneath, which is what happens if you heat these up before it's dry. It generates bubbles, and those bubbles are then, those are stuck underneath there. So, my advice to you is let the larger sheets dry as long as you can. Like, I would probably say 2 to 3 days if you can. I know that's, like, wait, I can't use my printer for 2 days. Well, that's why you have multiples of these. Anyways, so that's installing the sheet. We're gonna leave this here for, I'm gonna leave it here for 48 to maybe even more hours, and let it dry before I go ahead and give it a shot. Hope you found this video informative, and I'll catch you on the next one.